Welcome to a meeting of the minds, crafted from decades of talk show experience, an extension of the magic they've created together on radio in the phenomenon called M&M. Hot topics in the news and wisdom from life. It's Mark Davis and Mike Gallagher. This is M&M Extra.
Oh, that's right. We craft magic, all right. Happy Thursday. Welcome into M&M Extra. We are raring and ready to go. Brought to you. I'm Mike. He's Mark. We're brought to you and sponsored by Preborn, our title sponsor, near and dear to both of our hearts, allowing you to stand for life. Join us in providing ultrasounds to girls and women. You'll double the likelihood that she will choose life. Call 833-850-BABY, 833-850-BABY, or go to preborn.com/mmextra, preborn.com/mmextra. And speaking of Preborn and Mark, I want to start by thanking you publicly on the pod here in the space that we call M&M Extra.
Yes.
I want to thank you for agreeing to my
plan
to do something special for Preborn.
We carrying forward with us?
No microphone from Mark. No audio.
I'm right here. I am right here.
There you are. All right. Hello. So I was a little nervous about it because you're a little prickly.
I could be persnickety.
You can be a little eccentric. And so you are, and like I'm normal, like I'm a walk in the park, you know? I know. Like I'm a piece of cake. So look, I got this thing on my wrist today. I got this splint. I have hurt myself, and it's getting worse. I was up all night.
Another workout injury? Because
Yep, same one. One. I've
that nonsense.
What are you doing? I'm done.
How ripped do you need to be?
I'm on the couch eating Doritos. Forget it. I mean, this workout is for the birds. I sprained my wrist, and my doctor told me, you know what a wrist sprain is, and people don't always realize this. It's actually a torn something. You've torn a ligament. You've torn maybe a little tendon, and I'm just praying I don't need surgery because, look, you know me. If I got to be out for surgery, I'll be out for about 7 months.
Yeah, I'll be doing this thing alone until Christmas.
You're on your own. You're on your own until Groundhog Day. I mean, we'll set up, or we could set up a remote studio in the ICU unit where I'll be recovering on the ventilator. Do they do a ventilator for wrist surgery? I don't know.
Maybe it could be arranged. We could do it. It can all be arranged.
I want my name on it. But in any event, we are ready and raring and excited. And I decided to come up with an idea to get an ultrasound machine provided.
It's a good one.
$15,000. Well, for somebody who's new to the podcast, let me just get this out of the way real quick, and then we'll get into the headlines and the breaking news and all this stuff. I want to hear about the Lindsay Clancy final closing arguments because you saw a lot of it. I didn't.
I sure did. Chilling.
This is the woman who's strangled, by her own admission, with her own bare hands, or did she use a rope? I saw somewhere she used a rope.
I think. There were ropes.
There were ropes. There was death. 3 little babies that counted on Mama, and Mama decided to turn into a demon and kill them all. And of course, it's postpartum depression fault. You know, it's all that, and we'll get into all that in just a minute. But with Preborn, we give you all these different ways to contribute to Preborn, and we're proud to do that. We really love. We love businesses and companies, and this podcast is definitely sponsored like they all are. But when it's something special like this, we want to go the extra mile. And so I just want to kind of remind you of what you can do for Preborn. And
let's do that. Let's do their message now and attach this to that.
Simple. Preborn provides free ultrasounds to girls and women with your donations. Mm-hmm. So when a young woman sees her baby and hears her baby's heartbeat, it doubles the chance that she's going to choose life. So for $140, you'll be able to provide 5 mothers with an ultrasound. And chances are there's a double chance that she's going to save those babies' lives. Well, a $15,000 gift will provide an ultrasound machine that's going to save lives for many years to come. Mark and I have done, 2 or 3 lunches so far? 2,
I think
right?
3. I think 3 total.
3 lunches total in Dallas because we bring the mountain to Mohammed. Well, I'm not making you travel. Heaven forbid, Mr. Persnickety Mark gets on a plane. So I come to Dallas,
God.
and we host a private lunch. And let me tell you something. We got the perfect place. We're not going to mention where it is. We got the spot with the private room. And if you're willing to make a donation to one of our causes, once in a while, we'll entertain you in person. You'll have your private, personal M&M experience.
Because if you think this is fun, if you think the radio is fun, you think even this is a little more intimate, imagine hanging out and knocking down a couple of beverages and some lunchtime with your boys. Oh, it's indescribable.
So I started thinking about the $15,000 to provide an ultrasound. I thought, wait a minute. Why don't we have a super exclusive lunch offering in Dallas, Mark and Mike in person, for any 5 people total. 5 people, $3,000 each. If you're willing to make a $3,000 tax-deductible contribution. Now, look, when we get 5, that's it. We're not going to do any more than 5. And I mean it. We're going to hold it at 5. If you're willing to make a $3,000 tax-deductible donation to provide an ultrasound machine to preborn, I want you to email me, mike@mikeonline.com. Send me your contact information. Tracy and the team will follow up with you, and we'll arrange for a personal private lunch with Mark and Mike. We're going to only do this for 5 people. Here's the question, though. I need Cecil B. DeMille to weigh in. Do we let the 5 donors bring their significant other, or should it just be them?
Oh, okay.
I kind of like just them.
I mean, here's the thing. I want to be inclusive, but that would then be that would be 10. Well done, well played. That would be 12.
12 total. 10 people.
Exactly. 5 each with a +1. They don't have to. It'd be a max. We did a table for 12 for one. I think the last one was a table for 12 when they gave us the special room in the back because we looked around.
Yeah. They thought we were out of control.
So I'm thinking if somebody wants to pony up and they're willing to help us do an ultrasound, we absolutely let them bring a significant other.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that. Good with that. But if you're interested, please email us your information, mike@mikeonline.com, and we'll follow up, because I thought that would be kind of neat if a few people, and let's start with the podcast audience, because I'm going to also introduce this on the national audience on radio and TV with Salem News Channel, and on your show too, maybe. So you and I could talk about this on our shows, but then we're going to put it out there nationally, and I'll bet you those slots are going to go fast. So this is a good way for people who are podcast fans to get ahead of everybody else, because once they're gone, they're gone. 5 slots. It's a one-time $3,000 tax-deductible donation. And think about where your money's going. You're going to provide an actual ultrasound machine that is going to save lives, save babies for years to come. If you're interested, please just email us, mike@mikeonline.com, mike@mikeonline.com. Now, Mark, speaking of life.
This magical event, we'll take for people going, oh, where is this? Because I could be somewhere else. It's in the DFW area. It'll be very close to DFW Airport. If you do it, because we had a guy fly in. Remember the guy who flew into just like where'd you come from, Rowlett? Where'd you come from, Garland? Where'd you come from, Tennessee? Excuse me, Tennessee? What?
I know. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. If you want to fly in from outside of DFW,
we'll pick you up. No, I'm kidding.
No. You know what I'll do? You know what I'll do?
What will you do?
If you take 2 slots for $6,000, I'll pay for your airfare. I'll fly you in. I'll personally fly you in. How about that?
Are you high?
No. I'll
what?
Do it. For $6,000, I'll fly you in.
From the continental United States? I say, hi, I'm Bill in
Singapore.
It's exactly. In Jakarta, Indonesia.
No, from the continental United States.
Wow.
If you're in the U.S., I'll fly you in. If you do 2 slots, you got to do 6,000.
Okay.
So I think this is going to be kind of fun. So don't
make
knows
who we see now. Jeez,
no kidding. We're gonna meet Abdul the butcher from Baghdad. Who's going to come in.
At last they are mine.
I got them. Pass me the cheese.
Enjoy the ultrasound, infidel. Stop it. I'm sorry.
Oh, all right.
Stop it. Give everybody the email address. Tell them how to do this.
Don't give without writing. You got to write us first before you do anything. So if you're interested, mike@mikeonline.com to donate, and we'll get you the information. Now, speaking of life, you got to talk about the 3 lives that were snuffed out by this woman. So tell me about the closing arguments, because we didn't see it.
Okay, so Lindsay Clancy is on trial in Massachusetts for murdering her children, and she could get first-degree murder, she could get second-degree murder, she could get manslaughter. It's a wide swath being made available to this jury. It has sparked a debate, obviously, over postpartum issues, postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis. Is there something so powerful in the human psyche that a woman can give birth and then have the postpartum chemistry just misfire so colossally that she is stripped of the notion of right and wrong, stripped of the very awareness of what she is doing so deeply and profoundly that she can kill and get away with it, that she can be found not guilty? That is the question on the table. The defense is saying that's exactly what happened, and the prosecution is calling BS. A prosecutor by the name of Jennifer Sprague delivered the closing arguments, and it was just absolutely chilling. The prosecutors argue that Clancy's actions were deliberate. The defense says not guilty by reason of insanity. The claim is postpartum psychosis. Mike, if I can, are you familiar with Allie Beth Stuckey?
Of course I am. Sure. I've actually interviewed Allie Beth Stuckey.
Does she live here? She lives in here in Texas.
She's in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think she is.
Wonderful conservative writer, thinker, poster, et cetera, et cetera. This will take 30, 40 seconds because she weighed in. She has had a change of heart about this case, and it speaks to some of exactly what is at play here. And so let me offer this to you and to everybody, and then see what your thoughts are. Allie Beth writes, I was wrong about Lindsay Clancy, and here's why I changed my mind. She was, and I guess by change your mind, she thought she was willing to kind of play ball with this postpartum psychosis defense. Apparently not anymore. She was never diagnosed with postpartum depression or psychosis. She was not on 13 medications at once. She was not hearing voices. She was not abandoned by her family. She was diagnosed with a mood disorder and went to a variety of doctors who all prescribed different medications, which she took unreliably and not simultaneously. She only heard a voice one time. That was right before she killed the kids, extremely atypical for psychosis. She carefully planned her children's murders down to the minute. She researched the distance of a restaurant she'd asked Patrick to go to, added on a last-minute errand before he left, calmly answered his phone call in the middle of her crime, brought her children down to the basement, one by one, overpowering their resistance and killing them slowly. It does seem like she had support from the family. She may have still been overwhelmed, but it's not true that all of her cries for help went unanswered. I originally placed too much blame on the many, many SSRIs, the types of drugs she was prescribed. For years on my show, I've talked to health professionals who've been warning about the violence-inducing effects of these drugs, and I thought Lindsay's case may be an example of that reality. Is it still possible those drugs had a negative effect? Absolutely, but the case that these drove her into a psychotic episode is weak. The evidence continues to reveal, in my opinion, that Lindsay Clancy methodically murdered her children and was fully aware of what she was doing. I share her revised view. This woman needs to fry.
Well, and Allie Beth is that rare example of a woman who does not want to let this this Lindsay Clancy off the hook, because this has been my reaction has been that, or my impression is that this is a women are in her corner and men are not issue. Woman after woman, female after female, caller. How dare you, Mike, say that she should fry? How dare you, Mark Davis? She should be on the hook for this. You guys don't understand postpartum issues. You don't appreciate everybody's over-medicated. And it becomes a whole different narrative. But Allie Beth Stuckey is right. She did have family support. Her husband, he took paternity leave, for crying out loud, to be with her, to help her with those kids after she gave birth. And she brutally murdered them one by one. Look, here's what's weird about it, Mark. We didn't hear all this support for a mother who kills their kids when it was Susan Smith who drove the kids off the lake in South Carolina. Nope. Off the boat ramp, or Andrea Yates in your state of Texas, in Houston. Did you hear a lot of
Darlie Routier, who stabbed her 2 kids in Rowlett just outside of Dallas?
You didn't get this victimhood cry. So why is it happening now? Why does Lindsay Clancy have so much support? Because every day, Mark, as you know, outside the courthouse are all these women with their stupid pink outfits. We love Lindsay, free Lindsay. She's the victim here, blah, blah. The husband, they blame the husband. He did something wrong in their mind. So why the change? What's different?
This is a subset of human nature that and this might be a clumsy comparison, but when there's an issue you really want to pound or some advocacy you really want to accentuate, you find a way to do it. Because of racism and 400 years of slavery, guilty OJ had to go free because he's a black man. Carmelo Anthony, black kid, he can't be guilty because, social justice. In this particular case, I think a lot of these ladies who are, standing outside as part of her fan base, feel that postpartum issues that they get short shrift, that there are too many skeptics. Let me, and I think you'll join me on this, say, is it possible that somebody may be so eaten up with postpartum psychotic issues that they could do something like this and be criminally not responsible? Sure, I can see that. I just don't think this is an example of it. So let's stipulate that with our own goodwill. But I think there's a perception, accurately or not, that the whole postpartum thing just kind of gets the back of the hand. It gets mansplained. Oh, little lady. And Matt Walsh didn't help the other day when he said, I think fairly supportably so, that if you show me 100 women with postpartum issues, 50 of them just need to get a grip and realize having a baby is hard and get on with your life. And the rest of them may have something clinical going on. Everybody's being the disorder is not being shown sufficient respect and deference. And so for that reason, we got to make Lindsay Clancy the poster woman for this cause.
Well, let me give you my theory. That's a pretty good theory, but I also think there's more to it. I believe that we've watched over the last several years the sanctity of life be completely marginalized. Life has become sort of disposable, and I believe it started with the assassination of Brian Thompson when Luigi Mangione snuck up behind him and assassinated him, and Luigi got a fan club, and Luigi got a GoFundMe campaign. Look what happened with the Charlie Kirk saga and all that, and his assassination, and people like and support Tyler Robinson. The Democrats, I hate to take this into a political arena, but I have to. They've advocated political violence. When you have many people cheering the murder of Charlie or the murder of this United Healthcare CEO, you see the way life doesn't matter to them. Life is simply on a chess game. It's on a chessboard. We're going to play a chess game, and life just gets in the way, and if it's something we don't like, we're going to kill it. In her case, and the clumsy way that I'm trying to the point I'm trying to make in a clumsy way is that life just doesn't matter anymore. If you kill your babies, that leads to a bigger conversation about postpartum depression and the or psychosis and the pharmaceutical industry. If you kill Charlie Kirk, that leads to a really important conversation about transgender issues. If you kill Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO, that leads to a dialogue we can have about the way healthcare claims are often denied. So life can be snuffed out in order to make a point. And that's what I think is going on here, Mark. That's what's different with the Lindsay Clancy case, in my humble opinion. I think that's
completely plausible. I think that's completely plausible. That life in general, your observation is on point. Just across the culture, that we have become really lackadaisical and dismissive about life. So much so that if there's an agenda item to be drilled, something to be hammered, then the collateral damage doesn't matter.
Got it. So. I mentioned this wrist sprain, and it is part of a real effort for me to get back. I got to get fit. I want to stay fit. I want to be healthy, and I want to be around doing M&M Extra for the next 100 years. Look, PhD weight loss is the way I said goodbye to over 50 pounds, and you can do this too. The quick fixes, they never work. Even the popular GLP-1 shots will suppress appetite, but they're not going to fix what caused the problem in the first place. And once you stop taking them, guess what? The weight is going to come back. back. With Dr. Ashley Lucas's brilliant program, PhD Weight Loss, your body stops fighting you. Real change happens. They target the visceral belly fat. They target your metabolism, and it works. And the best part of all, you're never hungry. Wouldn't you love to lose a bunch of weight while never being hungry? Right now, when you call and mention Mike and Mark, we're going to add 2 free weeks to your program, and they'll pay for the cost of your food. That's a $1,500 value. Make that call at 864-644-1900, 864-644-1900, or visit myphdweightloss.com, myphdweightloss.com. It's been a game changer for me. I love, nothing tastes better than losing weight feels. It's so great to go into a store and buy a size medium or a large after you've been an XXL for all these years. MyPhDweightloss.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800 the number 4RELIEF. And Mark, I've gotten a bunch of compliments on you. I talk about my bad wrist today. I've doubled up on my Relief Factor. No, they're not. It's not a miracle drug. They can't do everything.
Reset a bone in my leg. It's crazy. No,
that's right. That's right. I just re-sprouted a new appendage. No, but look at what happened with you. You started taking Relief Factor.
Yeah, buddy.
And now you're out there tossing the ball with Jake and Hugo.
The dog's name changes. It's Bruno. He's been Hugo, Blotto. I don't even know what. He looked at me the other day and said, "Why can't Mike get my name right?" I'm just anyway. I'm teasing. We're winging balls. I'm doing things. I wasn't able to do this pain free. Just the kind of range of motion stuff. You never know what you miss until you can't do it anymore. So just reaching for something on the passenger seat, it's like ouch. Until Relief Factor, and that's 1-800-4RELIEF and ReliefFactor.com. And also the kind of old guy getting out of bed so you're achy for 60 seconds. That's gone too. I'm up. I'm ready to roll. I'm still a little groggy because it's a 4:45 a.m. alarm, but I don't have that kind of achiness that can take a couple of minutes to work through. I am raring to go. Thank you, Relief Factor.
Let's go. 1-800 the number 4RELIEF. Take the 3-week quick start at $17.76 in honor of America's 250th. Let's see if we can get you out of pain the way Mark and I get to have that experience with Relief Factor. 800 the number 4RELIEF, 800 the number 4RELIEF, or visit ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com. Mark, you and I had a spirited conversation this morning about Shut Up and
awesome.
Sing.
Just awesome.
I love it. Oh, it's the best. It's absolutely the best, and I replayed it on my show. The truth is, let me tell you why I'm right and you're wrong.
Okay. Here we go.
How about that? You and I were talking about the joy of everyone loving Dolly Parton. Mm-hmm. And everybody loved Dolly. She loved everybody. Everybody loved her. And why they love her, I shared this very funny satirical piece about how historians are just baffled about why everybody loved her. She is the first major American celebrity ever to die without the public knowing exactly what she thought about transgender athletes and Gaza and abortion and Trump and immigration or anything else that people are screaming at each other about on Twitter. And it got to the whole Laura Ingraham titled book, Shut Up and Sing. Laura wrote a book saying entertainers should just entertain us. But you pushed back with that, and you said, look, I want them all to say what they feel. Right. Hey, if anything, buyer beware. Know what they're thinking, right?
Yep.
No, and if they want to blow up half their audience, then blow up half their audience, correct?
Free country.
Okay, here's why you're wrong. I'll put it in, this is in Dolly's own words.
Yes.
I'm going to give you Dolly Parton's own explanation.
Oh, this isn't fair.
About why she shut up and
argue
sing.
with the recently deceased Dolly. I'm going to look good now.
I dare you. I dare you.
Teasing.
Double dog dare you to argue with Dolly. Here she was in 2018. ABC's Nightline did a feature on her, and a reporter named David Wright sat down with her, and he was trying to goad her into ripping Trump because the Access Hollywood tape had just come out.
Of course.
It didn't go well for ABC's David Wright.
I just don't get into that, and so if you are deciding you may want to ask me something more serious, don't, because I'm not going to answer it.
We have a president of the United States who said those things on that bus.
I'm not addressing that. I do not get into that. Of course, I have my opinion about everybody and everything, but I learned a long time ago, keep your damn mouth shut if you want to stay in show business. I'm not in politics. I'm an entertainer.
And yet, you're also a role model.
Yes, I am. That's why I don't talk about people.
What a great retort. I mean, in other words, he's saying, well, wait a minute, Dolly, you're deflecting, but you're a role model. She goes, I am. That's why I don't talk smack about people.
One of the good examples that I provide to people is I don't go around gossiping or shooting off my mouth about every single person. To my great relief, I am able to lift up Dolly and agree with her and love her and still stick with my actual point, which is that she, and I know, and that she needs to do her. And if somebody else, whether it's Rosie O'Donnell on the left or Ted Nugent on the right, just go ahead and let fly. Whatever you want to say, go say. And I'm going to be a grown up and sort through what I like and what I don't, accept what I want, ignore what I want, and let everybody be just fine.
Yeah, and I know that certainly technically and theoretically you're correct, and you used your buddy Ted Nugent as the example, but look, I wish all of them would stay in their lane. I wish they would all just entertain us and do what you're paid to do. I don't like and you know why? I'll tell you why. This is a personal resentment, and let me tell you what that is. Sure. I don't want to be uncomfortable being entertained by somebody who I know has loathsome views that I view.
Yep.
You know,
I want to love these people. I love your music. I want to love you. I love your acting. De Niro kills me. There's no better actor in my life. You know, Springsteen's really, really good. And I'm repelled by the Dixie Chicks. Are you kidding? That was some of the best music of the last 50 years. So go ahead, I'm sorry.
And when they do that, Mark, it distracts me. Yeah. It's a burden to support them. And incidentally, in many cases, you can't support them. Don't support them. Don't spend your hard-earned money to line their pockets when they hate you. Because remember, when you go after Trump, you're going after Trump supporters. Yes. Period. End of sentence. I'm telling you what, and so that's it. But and we don't need to milk this thing any longer than we have. But I'll tell you what about Trump. This South Carolina story is fascinating because, and Yasmin, do you have the clip that Tracy gave you right before the podcast about the Harry Enton? This is the second Harry Enton clip. Great.
They asked Republicans
Mark,
about your favorite
I want you to
ever. Yes, please.
What's that? Yeah.
The one where they need a poll of hey Republicans, who's your favorite Republican ever? That one?
Right. Well, I played that earlier too. By a far huge margin. It was nuts. 53% said that Trump is the best Republican president ever. 18% said Reagan was the best Republican president ever. And the guy who many regard as the greatest president of all time, Republican Abe Lincoln, 8%.
But you know why that is. You know why. It's because Trump is alive now. He's in our face. Here, I apologize in advance for this, Mike. Let's do the math. How old do you have to be in order to have any actual living memory of the Reagan presidency?
I get it. You're right.
He left the presidency in January 1989. So maybe if you're 10 years old, if you're 40, you don't remember Reagan.
I get it. But here is not a disputable fact, and this is what Harry Enton said about Trump's golden touch.
Yeah, I would say that this is probably the endorsement of Darlene Graham, and getting her across the finish line in the Republican Party is probably the strongest sign of Donald Trump's name being gold in Republican primaries to date. It's by far his most impressive performance, because just take a look here. It's according to the Kalshi prediction market. Chance to win the South Carolina special GOP Senate primary. Before the Trump endorsement, it was just 14%. Just 14%. The reason why Darlene Graham won that primary, won that nomination, is because of one name and one name only, Donald John Trump. This was his most impressive endorsement to date in terms of getting someone actually nominated, because she basically stood no chance. Once that endorsement came in, her chances rocketed well north of 50%, and last night she won that nomination.
14%, Mark.
And then all of a sudden it obviously went to 100. So this will shock you. I was on Cuomo last night.
I saw you. Yep.
And alongside, and I like this guy, the Chuck Rocha, the guy, I think he does some CNN too, another Texas guy. And his point about the endorsement was that the Trump endorsements, they aren't that big a deal, because he came all in with this endorsement and she only won by 5. I said, I thought she was going to get steamrolled. She was dead in the water. She was dead woman walking after that debate thing. but the endorsement came in and brought her across the finish line. After watching Harry do that thing, please, all the smart kids, please tell me more about how Trump's name is mud. Please tell me more about he no longer has a hold. Please tell me more of your wisdom about how he's just not a big factor anymore. Yeah. Please regale me.
Ridiculous. It's asinine to even say that. Did you see Trump's reason for endorsing Darlene over Ralph Norman? Because he explained it yesterday, and now there's no mystery. If you haven't caught it, he absolutely came right out and said it. Yeah. It was Ralph's endorsement of Nikki Haley. And that's the reason Trump posted yesterday but this is fascinating to me though. So stop and think about this for just a moment. Yeah. So Trump posted on Truth Social that Ralph was a good congressman, but he ruined his career with his endorsement of Nikki Haley. So Trump obviously never forgot or forgave, right?
So some grudges are suspendable and some are not.
His vice president called him once an American Hitler.
Well, he said he might be Hitler.
No, American Hitler. No, he didn't say he might be. American Hitler.
I think the question was, is it possible? They asked JD something. He said, well, he might be this or he might be the next Hitler. Anyway, go ahead. I don't know.
No, that's not true. He was very definitive. Tracy's got the statement. We looked it up. You should see how JD Vance talked about this guy.
I mean, you're right about that.
Lindsey Graham? You think Lindsey Graham was a pushover regarding Trump at one point? He told him to go to hell. He told Trump, "You go to hell." But so he
Rick Perry, complete the trifecta. Governor Rick Perry of Texas called Trump a cancer on conservatism and wound up in the cabinet as Secretary of Energy.
In the cabinet. But obviously endorsing Nikki Haley. Now that's a bridge too far. You know, exactly. I'm American Hitler. That doesn't bother me. Hitler's okay, but Nikki Haley is a bridge too far. The man is in. You know what it's impossible to predict what he's going to do. It's impossible to even keep up with him, and it's impossible to underestimate him. Do not underestimate this guy any more than you'd underestimate a streaming platform that comes to your rescue when you want family fare. How about Eccl? EKKL.com. The Robertsons from Duck Dynasty teamed up with Eccl to create a brand new one-of-a-kind streaming platform. It's all built around faith, family. You get movies and TV shows that you'll want to watch with your kids and your grandkids, your friends and your neighbors. It's only $5.83 a month. Now, I don't know where they got that number from, by the way. I think $5.99, but it's all right. I'll bet you there's a significance to $5.83.
They went to Uncle Si and he said, take 16 cents off that $5.99. Eccl's my pet squirrel. I love their recorded spots as well. The Robertson family vibe just drapes off this whole wonderful enterprise. And listen, we've all done it. You gather the family or just sit down by yourself and say, well, let's see what's on the tube. Let's see what's streaming. Let's see what's going on. And you start something that's pretty good, and all of a sudden just all kinds of sex and violence and God knows what in your face. And Eccl streaming, it's stuff that's safe for the family. It's faith forward. It's EKKL, Eccl, EKKL.com. Eccl streaming, safe for the whole family, and really, really good quality stuff too.
So what are we doing tomorrow? And then, of course, Bombshell, you're flying solo next week. I mean, this is going to be...
M. Get ready for M.
M. There's no and, no ampersand.
Just me.
Well, we don't use the ampersand. We use AND.
Yeah, because we don't get sued by the candy company.
We don't want any candy problems. But tomorrow, are we going to stick to a theme day on Fridays?
I mean, I've like everything else we do, let's figure it out as we go. Okay. That's working so well. I think it is working well. And that is that some weeks we'll just see it coming and go, you know what, Friday needs to be a theme Friday, some overarching thing that's not necessarily that day or that week's breaking news. And we did Education Friday. Everybody loved it. Tomorrow we're going to, I want to expand this a little bit because you and I have talked about all of these, the notion of electric vehicles, just EVs versus the internal combustion engine, full service driving, which you have done and I have not, and I'm fascinated and terrified. And I have one more thing to add to the robo-taxi debate and discussion because it's all part and parcel of the same thing. So can we go around all those and do those tomorrow?
I'd love that. Let's talk a little bit because I'm telling you, it's a technology that excites me because I have spent literally hours and hours and hours doing the full service drive with one of my kids' Teslas. And and I've got an experiment that I've been doing just for you, Mark. I'm going to tell you all about that tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I love that. I love the tease. There's one last thing we got to do because I promised it. I said we would do it. It might take 2 or 3 minutes if you've got it.
Sure.
On my show today, it was a big flock camera roundtable. You and I have talked about this. The two sides are huge privacy violation, hell no, or helps the cops, so that makes it worthwhile. That's been you. You're obviously 100% correct. We're back the blue, law enforcement. We drip with it on this show. And that has made me smile on and approve of and be open to everything that law enforcement has said about how it helps us catch child abductors, stolen cars, missing persons. It's undeniably a valuable law enforcement tool. Mike, these things, that argument is losing by the day as town, for good or not, town after town after town, pulling the plug, canceling the contracts. Not saying that this is forever, but that just for right now, we're concerned about the surveillance state, and we're gonna draw the line on this before it becomes a tyrannical nightmare. And I want to hand the talking stick back to you with your own words, because you have said, and this makes sense in a perfect world, if you're not doing anything wrong, what do you got to worry about? And that is true when government is behaving at its best. But how many times have we seen government stoop to its worst instincts and people are not having it?
My strong belief is that this is the latest chapter in Americans want something to be pissed off about. It's all this is. It's the same with the data centers. Americans are rejecting flock cameras, even though they are a very valuable tool. You don't have an expectation of privacy in public. Because there's potential of misuse and abuse, then crack down on the abuse. But you could have potential for misuse right now with surveillance cameras. All it is, it's a sophisticated way to catch murderers, rapists, child molesters, missing persons, seniors who have Alzheimer's, who've wandered around, driven off in the car, who might wind up dead in the ditch if it weren't for these flock cameras. They are a valuable tool. It's a perfect example of how we're rejecting technology. And hold my beer before we say goodbye. I'll do you one better. Yep. I want you to hear about Quincy, Washington. They once had a poverty rate of 29.4%. It has plummeted to 6.2%. They've got a sparkling, brand new multi-gazillion dollar aquatic center. They've got public parks. The whole community has been infused with this beautiful economic watershed moment. You know why?
Data center.
Data centers.
I knew it.
Data centers.
I knew it.
They've completely transformed this small town's economy, and they're doing it all over the country. It's just not very well covered, Mark. That's not very well publicized.
I've thought that this is an idea that's been bandied about, that if people are concerned about, let's stop putting the data centers right by where 50,000 people live. That's find
Fair
better
enough.
places to put them. But if a data center is coming to your town, an enormously wealthy company is bringing it. So let's squeeze a little bit out of them so that you can fund. And because if you give a community all the things you've described, suddenly some of their data center objections will magically subside.
All right.
But you're
more to come.
I know, but you just kind of gave the back of your hand to everybody watching right now who has a serious privacy concern, because you are right.
The serious privacy,
the
serious privacy concerns don't change. I get that. Do you have a serious privacy? We heard the same thing when normal closed circuit surveillance cameras started being on every corner.
That mostly wasn't government. Most of those were private security. It's like having a detective, and you're also totally right. You're also Flock's a private company contracting with police and with government availability of this enormous searchable database.
Every police station has access to closed circuit cameras that aren't flock cameras. That's always been a thing. But when
they don't necessarily read, they don't have automatic license plate readers. The ability.
Oh, you don't want the license plate to be read?
Individual. I'm just sort of giving, and it's not devil's advocate because everything you say is right. And you're also totally correct that we don't have the same expectation of privacy on the public streets that that we have in our own homes. But it's like having an army of detectives to follow all of us around for no reason.
That's life.
Not to me, it's not. Not to me, it's
life.
not.
Well, you better get used to it, because that's what it is now in 2026.
You
walk into a bank.
That's what the flat guy said. The flat guy said we need to reach a compromise on privacy, and people nearly their heads exploded when he said
you go into the bank. They're doing facial recognition technology.
I know.
You do not have any You want to get one of those crazy those folks that do these influencers that go up to people and they shove cameras in their faces outside the post office. Well, guess what? They take video of the license plate. You know why? Because they're allowed to. It's the law. You can't. You got no privacy in public, Mark. You just don't.
Okay, comrade.
So, I know. I get it.
You're going to comply. George Orwell, Gallagher.
You will comply, and you will enjoy M&M Extra. Tomorrow, we're going to focus on self-service, our full-service drive, and robo-taxis and more. I love you. Have a great Thursday, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Too much fun.